Hi my dear doctors, today I am going to talk about the X-ray of a TB patient. We will discuss the X-ray image in complete description and in a complete detail, and I will explain that which phase of TB is this and how we can differentiate TB from other viral pneumonia or some other bacterial pneumonias. So let's go through the X-ray. So initially, first of all, you need to know that how to read the X-ray. So you need to see the borders of the lungs. You need to see the costophrenic angles. That should be clear, because if there is fluid here, if there is blood, then it can show us that there is pneumothorax, there is a hydrothorax, or hydropneumothorax, even hemothorax. Okay, so these costophrenic angle will help in identification of such pathologies, and after that we need to know that the borders of the heart should be clear. There should be no cardiomegaly, and the cardiothoracic ratio, it should be in appropriate range. Okay, so and then you need to see there should be no tracheal deviation or tracheal shift, or the clavicle, there should be no clavicle fractures, and the ribs should be in a good form. So these are the points that you need to see. You need to keep in your mind before reading any sort of X-ray of any pathology. Okay, so let's go through the description of this X-ray. So before going through the description, I just want to say that there are different stages of the TB, that how the TB progress, and what is the pathogenesis of that, and how the TB start to destroy our lung tissues, and after that how it resolves by depending upon the immunity, or how it progresses to the cavity formation. So there are 4 stages of the primary TB complex. I will also say that what is the TB complex. Okay, before that I just want to say that there are 4 stages of the primary TB complex. Number first stage is a pneumonic phase, and there is an inflammatory phase, and then a resorption phase, condensation phase, and calcification phase. The first phase, there is a pneumonic phase. It also comprises of 3 main components. That is the primary focus, lymphangitis, involvement of lymph vessels, and lymphadenitis or lymphadenopathy, the enlargement of the thoracic, intrathoracic, or we can say the mediastinal lymph nodes. Okay, so let's go through the X-ray. So as we can see that everything here is completely clear. There is no consolidation, or there is no pathology. But in this particular image, in this particular area, in the middle lobe of the approximately middle lobe of the right lungs, we can see that there is something, or there are some pathology here. So this is what, whenever any foreign particle, any foreign microorganism enters into your lung, it activate our body immunity and start to destroy our body tissues. In this case, they start to damage the lung tissues, and as well as there is infiltration of the body immunity cells. And these body immunity cells, what they do, they fight against the bacteria, and in this way there is a formation of the TB complex, or what we can say a focus is formed. Okay, so here we can see that there is a consolidation, or there is a focus in this particular area. And if we see, there is the focus, they spread to the upper part toward the mediastinum, and there is involvement of this particular area. It is not so clear because it is in the early stage, and the intensity is not so high. That's why it is not so clear, and it is not so visible, but it is such like that the primary mycobacterium tuberculosis start to damage our cell in this area. Then through the lymphatic vessels it start to progress, ascend upward, and during its way of progression or ascent it causes the inflammation of the lymph vessels as well. That's why there is lymphangitis. Okay, and this lymphangitis, then what happened, and after this lymphangitis the bacteria progressed and moved toward the lymph nodes, and there is an enlargement of the lymph nodes. So we can see that there is a foci and there is a progression and there is an involvement of the intrathoracic lymph node. So we can say that what a dumbbell appearance or dumbbell shape inflammatory area is formed here. Okay, so this dumbbell shaped structure that will help you in differentiating TB from other microorganisms or other viral pneumonia or bacterial pneumonia. So these are the characteristics, and this is what we call as the primary TB complex. So primary TB complex is comprises of foci or the primary focus, and then we have a lymphangitis and lymphadenopathy. Okay, lymphadenitis. So these are three components of the primary focus. So what happened after this, if the body immunity is good, then it resolves, otherwise it progresses to cavity formation. So if you talk about the characteristic of every component of the mnemonic phase, okay, then the first one is the focus. We will discuss about the focus and what are the characteristics, and 9R factors, 9R characteristics of the primary focus. As we can see that the primary focus, the borders are not clear, the intensity is not so high, and the size is enough bigger size. Okay, and what else we can say that the contour is not clear. So all of these are the features and characteristics. So we'll go one by one. That number first, it is present in the right upper middle lobe. It is the location infiltrative shadow because the borders are not clear, and it is the initial phase. Okay, the size is approximately 3 to 5, 6 or 7 centimeter in this case, depending upon the involvement of the rib and the intrathoracic lymph node, because in here we can see that there are approximately 2 rib and 1 intercostal space involvement, so approximately 6 to 7 or 5 centimeter size. Okay, and if you talk about the shape of this, the shape is irregular or oval shape, and the contour, that is the border, is unclear. The border is not so clear, and then the intensity is average to high, because if you compare the mediastinal areas, then we can see it is more highly intense, rather this one is not so intense, not so weak, but intensity is a little bit weak to average. Okay, and further we talk about the structure. The structure is non-homogeneous or heterogeneous structure. So what does mean homogeneous structure? Homogeneous structure mean that what we can see in this particular area, we can see all black, here can see all white, but here we can see the white dots and black dots. So it comprises of different intensities, so that's why it is a heterogeneous structure. Okay, so what next? Then the characteristic, we will talk about the characteristics of the lymphangitis or the lymph vessel. So lymphangitis, it is a linear tension bar from the focus to the lung root. So we can see here it is a tension bar. It is a line from the primary focus toward the lymph node. And what is the features of the lymph nodes? Lymphadenopathy, that in the lung root there is a enlarged lymph nodes. So these are the third component of the pneumonic phase of the primary TB, that is lymphadenopathy or lymphangitis. Okay, so these are the features of the primary focus or the primary TB. So our final conclusion should be that it is a primary TB, number second pulmonary TB, and it is there is a involvement of three components, so it is a focus. Now it is a complex. Okay, it is not only a focus, it is involvement of the focus plus lymph vessel plus lymph node. That's why it is a complex. So it is a primary pulmonary TB complex. Location is right lung middle lobe. Which phase? Pneumonic phase. So these are the, if you want to write furthermore, then you can see there is no cavity formation and there is no complication. If you see complications, then you can write a complication. Thank you so much.